Okay, so I've downloaded a CSV from the cleaning data assignment, and now I'm going to go through and I'm going to clean that data. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the data in. The data is in my downloads folder since I just downloaded it from my OpenMath. So I'm going to import pandas so I can create a data frame from that CSV, and I'm going to give pandas the nickname PD. So import pandas as PD is the first line. Then I'm going to use pandas to create a data frame called df, and df is going to be equal to pandas' method PD dot read underscore CSV, and the read CSV I feed to that the file path in a single quote. So I'm going to put my single quote and go out and find the file path now by clicking files here and then clicking this up page, and then this is my downloads folder on my computer, so I'm going to click on the downloads or the cleaning data CSV that I downloaded. Now if I come to the right of that CSV, I see those three vertical dots, and I can click that and copy the file path, and then I can come here and paste the file path right into the read CSV open single quotes. So that will create my data frame. Let's see what the data frame looks like by using the df.head function, and I'm just going to look at the first 20 rows of the data frame. Let's see, so we have NR values here, no responses. We have a few no responses here. So first thing is we need to get rid of NR because Python won't understand NR. Python understands NaN, which stands for not a number. And I'm actually going to import another API or another library that has that NaN as one of its attributes, or one of its attributes. So let's see, it's NumPy. So I'm going to import the API called NumPy, NUMPY, and I'm going to import it as NP. So NumPy is where the NaN stays, where it lives. And now I'm going to call the replace method from pandas. So df.replace, and this will replace whatever I tell it to within the data frame. What I want to replace is I want to replace all the NRs. And what I want to replace those NRs with is the NaN from NumPy. So mp.nan. So I'm replacing all the NRs with NumPy's NaN. And then I'm going to make it do it in place. So I'm going to set in place equal to true. So all this should be done in place. All right. So I'm importing NumPy. Then I'm using the replace method of the data frame object to replace all the NRs in my data frame with NaN values. And then just to make sure it actually happens, I'll do df.head again to see if it actually changed them. Well, yes, now the NRs are NaNs instead. Now the NRs are indeed NaNs. So now that I have those NaNs, I can actually get rid of all the columns or all the rows in any column that has an NaN. So let me run this one more time actually, and let me actually look at the first 30 or so rows. Okay. So it seems like it's only the categorical columns that have NaN. Seems like all the numerical columns are fine. So I'm just going to get rid of all the NaNs for all the categorical. So I'm going to use gender, married status, and race. And I'm going to get rid of all the NaNs in all of those variables. All right. So here's how I'm going to do that. I'm going to add another code cell. And in this code cell, now I'm going to do the drop NA method of pandas. So df dot drop NA, DROPNA, will drop all those NaN values. And then I just have to give it a subset of all the variables that I want it to drop the NA for. So I'm giving it all the columns that have NA basically. So the columns I have with NA, let me see here. So I'll put in quotes. One of them was gender. Gender had NAs. The other one was marital status. Marital status had NAs. And the last one that had NAs was race. So I'm putting race in here too. So I made a list of all the ones that had NAs that I want to drop the NAs from. Then I am going to come out of this list now, put another comma, and then say axis is equal to 0. And then once again, I'm going to do everything in place. So I'm going to set in place here also equal to true. So here I'm calling the drop NA method of the data frame. The subset of variables that I want to drop the NA values from are gender, marital status, and race. I said the axis equal to 0, and I'm going to do this all in place. All right, and then I want to reset the indexes so that there aren't gaps in my data frame. So I don't want those spaces to be there. If I remove the row that has NA, I want to re-index everything so there are no gaps. So I'm going to do df dot reset underscore index. So this is reset index, and I'm going to say drop them equals true. True, T-R-U-E. And then in place also equals true. So in place is also equal to true. And then let's just see what it looks like after that. So df dot head, once again, let's look at once again the first 30 to see if they got dropped, those NAs, if they got dropped. Up, and look at that, not a single NA in sight. So I've cleaned this data set. It no longer has any NA values.